like none other.
You have strength and speed and stamina, far beyond that of any human. You could use those gifts in a war that you are already a part of.
Frankenstein. Should have been called Who Me Frankenstein, because Aaron Eckhart looked like he didn't know what the fuck he was in this movie.
Well, man, you know, he's been around for 200 years, and man, if you've been around for 200 years, you should have picked up on something.
Goddamn, what you been doing?
Right.
You big dumb motherfucker. I mean, Aaron Eckhart just runs to the movie. Huh? Where am I? Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah. And the other thing is that for the first half of the movie, it's not even about Frankenstein.
Oh, well, you came in late.
I don't care. I did.
I ain't trying to explode your premise or nothing, but you came in significantly late to where you missed a lot of the Frankenstein stuff in the beginning.
Okay, and Martin's right, people, because what happened was it was iced over, and a lot of the roads were closed off. And I know it sounds like I'm making some excuse.
No. Because I mean, you know, we haven't in this country is the snowpocalypse.
Yeah,
in a lot of places, and you know, some places the snowpocalypse is things are in the teens. The zeros, the negatives.
Yeah.
And here, our snowpocalypse happens when it drops to 20 degrees.
Exactly.
and while you may be in someplace colder and laugh, go, pff, y'all, but we're not used to it.
Exactly.
Everybody on the road is sliding, skidding.
I'll tell you this much. I'm not dying over no goddamn Frankenstein. I almost turned around.
You almost did.
I almost turned around, but I was already in too deep, man.
Well, that was the thing, man. I went to the theater we were going to go to, and I got there first before you.
Yeah.
And it was 10 o'clock, and I'm looking around, and it's dark in there, and I'm like, well, I like for them to keep it dark, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no, hello.
They wanted to set that mood for you.
Yeah.
Oh, you went to the first theater that you went to where it was closed.
Yeah. The guy was like, what are you doing in here? I was like, I came to see Frankenstein. He's like, we closed 2 hours ago. Yeah. You see the weather? We're not showing that movie tonight.
And he's laughing at you. And he's laughing at you for coming to see some dumb shit like that.
Oh, he would have laughed harder knowing that I was going to leave and go to a different theater to try to see it.
You sure did. Dedication. I give you that much. But you know what, man?
Oh, no. Okay, the reason I smiled a second ago when you said that is because the movie opens in a snowstorm.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So I was actually having the true 3D experience of our Frankenstein, so I know that shit better than you did. Yeah, I was Frankenstein. Frankenstein. Yeah, I was about to be Frankenstein when I crashed through that fucking windshield, looking like Aaron Eckhart, torn up and shit.
right, slashed up with all a bunch of stitches all over yourself.
That's another complaint I got, but I'll get to that in a minute.
Bolts in your neck.
But it don't even matter, man, what I missed, because when I got in there, so I got the gist of it. Now, in this movie, and this is you have to know that this is by the writer of Underworld. Now, before he worked with Lynn Wiseman on the Underworld series. He's working with a director here, Stuart Beatty, right now.
Right.
But this guy wrote it. It's a guy named Kevin Grevioux. In this film, now the Underworld movies, if you remember those, you know what they're about. Now in this film right here,
it's vampires versus werewolves without the teenagers and all the staring at each other.
Oh yeah, exactly. Now in this movie, you have gargoyles versus demons. And why? Because I already did vampires and werewolves. Everybody's been using that. I mean, seriously, just take the vampires and the werewolves, replace them with demons and gargoyles. It's the same shit as Underworld.
Honestly, I don't understand why they didn't go with the vampires and werewolves and just make it in the Underworld universe.
Just make it another Underworld movie. And I'll tell you why, because Kevin Grevioux, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Grevioux, whatever, Greasy, whatever the hell that Negro's name is. This is based on a comic book called I, Frankenstein. Now, I know nothing about it. I do remember seeing it when I would go to the comic book store. I've seen it online a few times. I know nothing about it. Yeah. All I know is that they must have made this movie because this guy already has a track record with Underworld.
Right.
I'm going to tell you something. All you goth people out there who rejoiced when Underworld came out and y'all thought that shit was cool, you don't know how dumb this shit is until you throw Frankenstein in it.
I kind of knew already.
It's funny how if you throw, y'all think Frankenstein is cool. Frankenstein is cool when he's hanging out on his own. You throw Frankenstein and anything else, the shit gets dumb.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. I ain't nothing to be sorry about. The funny thing is, what you missed is that it picks up right at the end of the Frankenstein book. Like, I was like, wow, y'all are actually being faithful. Like out in the snow, Victor Frankenstein tracking them like, I'm gonna kill you. You kill my wife, I'm gonna kill your ass. Until he just like kind of froze right in the middle of coming after him. And the monster felt bad, picked him up, took him back home to just bury him in his front yard.
Oh, he didn't put him in front of a fireplace or something, try to thaw him out.
And in the midst of that, finds his journal, and before he could get him into the ground, some demons come up and just jack him. They do. They watch him. They just come up and like, all right, take his ass, get him.
Now, did you hear what you just said? Did you just you said this without skipping a beat? You said, and then some demons just come up, just out of nowhere.
I know.
Hey,
man.
Frank, give me that book.
I'm trying to channel that 11-year-old in me who'd be like, woo.
Well, you've already reached 8. Just 3 more ages, you might reach it, man.
Hey, man, I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to let the people know and get you caught up on what you missed.
I
don't want you to get nothing wrong.
I didn't miss a goddamn thing.
So
man.
after these demons, they pretty much get him in the 4 corners. Like they each got a limb. They got something around his neck. They have to take him away. Well, the gargoyles wake up, and the gargoyles fly down. And the gargoyles are pretty much angels who come and beat the shit out of the demons and say, hey, Frankenstein's monster, you need to come with us. And he's like, well, you saved me. I guess I will.
Brother, let's not go through the whole movie here.
I'm not going to go through the whole movie. The whole thing is, what it breaks down to is that there's a war going on between the demons and the gargoyles, who are pretty much angels. And somehow the demons want Frankenstein's monster because he's the key to hatching this big plan that comes out of Blade 2 that they're trying to get going.
Yeah, they figure they can bring demons back if they figure out the secret of Frankenstein.
Right.
I like saying Steen. I'm not saying Stein, man. That makes me sound smart when I say Steen. Makes it sound like
Frankenstein.
Yeah, it makes it sound like a Jew too, don't it? I can get with the movie, and I can understand when it's just supposed to be fun, when it's just supposed to be visual. I got that, and that's what this movie is for the most part. But what ruins it for me? I mean, besides it just being just downright goofy. I mean, this is some goofy shit.
Indeed.
You hear how you say that gargoyles, which are actually angels, fighting demons. I'm like, God damn, but y'all just reaching at this point. But I can get down with that. Sure. But these motherfuckers, man, these actors just take this shit way too seriously.
That is the thing. It's kind of like it is so goofy. Even with the underworld movies, it's like, you got to go with it. Like, if you're going to sit around going like, really? Vampires versus werewolves? It's like, well, you don't need to be there. You got to go with some of it.
Yeah.
And even with this, it's more of a stretch, but you kind of got to go with it. But you also can't help but pull back and go, somebody needs to crack a joke to let me know that they know how dumb this is. Because I ain't never seen a piece of dreck like this where everybody was so serious. I kept wanting Heath Ledger's ghost to come up to Aaron Eckhart and go, why so serious? No, but for real, man. Smile, do something.
There's a lot of people in here who are just taking this shit way too seriously. Now, Aaron Eckhart, he just ain't giving enough to say to do anything but look fucking confused. Right. I mean, seriously, he's even halfway through the movie. He's like, I'm sorry, I signed up for this shit. He looks like it.
You know what? It's funny you say that because I never got the impression he was sorry he signed up for it. He seemed like he was all in, but he was all in to take it way too seriously.
Well, the reason why I say that is because there's some more people in there taking this shit way more serious than them. You got, what's her name? Miranda Otto. She thinks she's in Hamlet with this shit.
Well, that's the thing, man. I mean, like, for me, like, of all the people taking it seriously, which is everybody, she was like the one where I was like, you know what? She stepped up to play like in like another Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
Or like you say, Hamlet. But I'm actually buying her. Like her character being that one that's serious, that's fine. She needs to be. Her character needs to be the person who's serious to make you the audience member, take it serious. It's everybody else around who I'm just like, y'all are being serious and you're not even that good.
I ain't letting her slide. I am letting her slide because it's her and it's Jai Courtney.
Man,
who we recently saw
in the shittiest Die Hard movie of all time.
The worst fucking Die Hard movie. Now, where's that boy from?
I heard he was from Spartacus. I don't know.
No, what country is he from? Okay, he's from Australia. Because when I saw him in Die Hard, I thought he was American.
Right.
But then this is the first time I've seen him with an accent. I'm thinking, all right.
But it's weird. It's like he sounds like an American doing a British accent.
That's why I'm asking you, where's he from? Because I'm confused. I'm like, damn, you can't even act like your country of origin.
Right.
I mean, you ain't bad, really, but it's like in many of these movies, you have Miranda Otto, you got Jai Courtney. Everybody's doing their job.
Right.
They're doing what they're paid to do. If I pay you as an actor, you come in, you goddamn right, you better treat this shit like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But this shit, they got these scenes where they stop and they sit up there performing with a skull in their hand and shit. I'm like, this shit ain't leading to nothing else but another scene of CG monsters fighting each other. That's it.
I know. And Jai Courtney doesn't do much but flex his biceps.
Yeah, they got a scene where he's walking from behind. He's just flexing the triceps, man.
Yeah.
You think the shit is shot in slow motion. That's just him walking. Trying to flex while he's moving.
What's my motivation in this scene? You know what? Dude, just show off your muscles and walk.
Just turn around and walk, man.
I would tell you to read this, but it doesn't really matter.
Just fucking walk. We'll just film it. Can I say, no, you don't get no lines. Just walk.
Act like you're going to jump. We're going to fill it in with CG.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter.
There are some things I could let this slide as a cool looking, just low rent action film. Because the production on these kind of films are always good. Because they know that that's the best thing they have going for them.
Right.
And in some parts, I mean, we get right down to all CG and we see creatures running off of rooftops, and when they're killing each other, you got the demons who explode into fire, a la Blade style. And then you got the angels, they turn into like some laser light show when you kill them.
A blue light that ascends to heaven.
Which I don't know why they even worried about being killed, because I'd be like, kill me so I can get the fuck out this.
Yeah, well, I think there was some of them who were like, just let me go.
Yeah, I'm going to heaven. Yeah, why am I fighting this war? Shit, let these motherfuckers have it, man. So strike one right there for this story. I don't fucking get it. But then there's some effects in here for all the CG work that they do that looks so cool. There's some other effects here, like the prosthetic makeup on the demons. So what they do is you got demons that look like humans, but when they get mad, that face melts and it looks like some shit you bought at the dime store Halloween shop.
Yeah, at Spirit Halloween.
Yeah.
It looks like stuff from the old Tales of the Crypt HBO series. Like sometimes they want to do an effect like that and it didn't look that good.
Yeah.
But you were enjoying the show, so you just kind of like, you blurred your eyes and act like it was cool.
But you watching it at home on TV.
Yeah.
And if this had been, exactly, like the Spirit Halloween store. Now, if this had been a spook house,
right,
and you walking by and this dude was behind some chicken wire with some low lights, it might be cool.
Or you were shooting an episode of Goosebumps.
But with this shit y'all doing right here, no.
That's the thing. Like I thought pretty much like 90% of the fight scenes look pretty good, and what they have going on with the fights and the effects and everything, I was like, you know what? For a cheap ass movie, this looks good. But then they get some scenes where they have like a bunch of angels and demons.
Yeah.
Like they're all fighting, it looks great. But at a point where they slow down, they're just all kind of flapping in the air one time. And when it slows and you see the compositing of the CG on the filmed, background, that shit look like something from the old Star Trek show. Like, is that a matte painting? What's going on? It's like the computer just couldn't render all of it. It was like,
just here.
I'm trying, boss.
Yeah, it's too much shit. Even the computer's like, really? You gonna put me through this much work for this shit? You better take this and show this the way it is. Ain't nobody giving a damn.
Just swap him an episode of Gargoyles.
And that's another thing, man. When while the CG is cool, it gets to a point where it starts to look like particle effects. I can admire so many demons bursting in the flames and so many light effects, but it's starting to repeat itself.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. There's no escalation of it. It's like there's a point where it peaks, and then like you making a movie, especially like this, you have to keep one up in yourself. Every time you do something, it needs to be better than the last one.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, then if it peaks early, then it's kind of like for the audience, it's like, well, I'm just kind of waiting for this to be over.
Yeah.
Or waiting for it to reach its conclusion.
Yeah. Now let me get to number 2 with my problems with this. Characters are not convincing on any level. On any level. Let me go through some characters that you got. First of all, let's start out with Mr. Frankenstein. Besides looking confused, really, Aaron Eckhart is better than this, man.
He's shown himself to be better than this.
He's so much better. First of all, you can't get past him being Two-Face because he's just doing that Two-Face not even character, but impression to the whole thing.
Right.
When what am I? What am I doing here? Where's Rachel? You know, I was like, hey, man.
It's a confusing thing because we've seen Aaron Eckhart be like a legitimate good actor.
Yeah.
Not just a legitimate actor, but a good actor. He's been in some things that make you stand up and go like, man, this guy needs a break. But then but now he does this movie, and I'm pretty sure he was interviewed on Howard Stern recently. He went into this with his eyes open. I think he was thinking like, hey, this will be my shot to be an action hero. Maybe I can't. Maybe they won't pick me for Daredevil. I won't get a real superhero, but I got a chance at an action movie. And what really gets me about that is like you look at him, like when he takes his shirt off, you see how this guy has worked out. He's ripped.
He is ripped.
I mean, he's like a 40-something-year-old guy to get that ripped.
Oh yeah,
and that's not easy. Like, okay, you see Denzel Washington do it, but it's for The Hurricane, something that's for an Oscar. He did this for an Underworld spinoff.
It ain't even a spinoff.
Right.
It's a ripoff.
So
the motherfucker ripped himself off.
But it's from the same producers.
Yes.
So you figure like, okay, it's an Underworld type movie. What 40-something-year-old man would do that to himself just for this?
You want me to tell you what kind?
What kind?
A motherfucker who wants a comic book movie so bad, but don't know shit about comics.
Right. Right.
He for all he knew, Frankenstein was the next Batman.
Right.
He thought, oh, the kids love this. He don't know nothing about this shit.
Yeah.
All he know is I'm getting a comic book movie.
What he knew was that there was a graphic novel on it.
Exactly.
And so he's like, okay, I'm doing a comic book movie. But I told everybody, man, I'm gonna be in the next comic book movie. Shit. I mean, this is the first one, and this certainly ends in a way where it's like, oh, y'all get ready for number 2.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, well, we'll see about that.
I'm gonna be in Me Too Frankenstein. Gonna have a 2 up there. And really, he has so little to do that when he don't know what else to do, he just jumps through a window. There's about 3 times where he just jumps through a window. I got in late. In between 20 minutes, he jumped out about 3 windows.
Oh, he had jumped out about 3 more before you got there.
God damn.
There's a lot of window jumping. Like every window pane in that movie was just shaking, nervous.
Shit, he's here.
He's coming here. Help me, guys. I'm sorry, man. You're on your own.
If he didn't know what to do, he just jumped through a window. Hey, Frankenstein, what's 12 times 9? 35. Wrong. Keep on dropping.
You know what? The other thing about my point about him getting all ripped for this movie, and you see that scene where he takes his shirt off and everything, that's once. Like all that work he did was to take his shirt off one time. A scene that could have been left out of the movie.
You know what?
All that he's wearing a big ass coat.
All that work.
All that work, yeah.
And
all that eating raw eggs and boiled chicken.
That motherfucker, he just worked out for Frankenstein. Put all that hard work into it. Sacrifice, suffered.
Right.
For Frankenstein. For one scene.
In Frankenstein.
And wearing some bad clothes, wearing some homeless shit.
Yeah, like when he goes to this swanky nightclub, and everybody's turning around and look at him. He's like, oh, they know he's Frankenstein. They're like, no, they just wondering why a bum. What doorman let a bum walk in here?
Shit, even Herman Munster had a suit. This motherfucker got a hoodie and a dirty ass V-neck and shit. I'm like, damn, man. They couldn't get you some shit from the Gap at least. They stopped their ass up at the gas station corner store, Salvation Army bin, and got you some shit. But I'm glad you brought that up because the scene that he actually has a topless scene in is with this actress Yvonne Strahovski.
You're right, and she used to be on Chuck.
Oh, she used to be on Chuck. Okay,
yeah, it's weird because on Chuck she was a spy, and she was like a she was like a badass action hero.
Yeah,
but here she's playing that pretty scientist. He was like, girl, you ain't no scientist.
The moment I walked in, I was like, even in some bullshit like this, even in Frankenstein, something we know is stupid, I still can't buy you as a scientist.
Right.
Did nobody learn from
James Bond?
From James Bond. Who was that chick that was in there?
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards. Did y'all not see that shit? Come on, man. God damn. I mean, I'm not being sexist.
No.
Anything like that. I'm not saying we can't have hot scientists.
I'm sure there are some attractive scientists out there.
There are. There are some attractive women scientists. Just not that.
But not like that.
Not like this. Come on. I mean, again, keep in mind, I'm going to be fair here. Even if I saw a chiseled model-looking dude trying to be a scientist, I'm like, you just a dumb as a rock. Come on, you can't. No, I got it. And to show you I'm not being sexist, if you get somebody who can say their lines convincingly telling me that you are a scientist, I can buy it. But ain't nothing coming out this girl's mouth that convinces me she's an actress and is much more a scientist.
Right.
And I'm not even blaming her. Again, the movie.
Yeah.
The movie's either bringing more out of people than it should, or I was just making people look like shit.
Exactly.
Now, it's another character who's not convincing. You have the evil characters.
Yeah.
Who are either laying it on too thick. The only person in here who looks like he's doing some bullshit for the money is Bill Nye.
Right.
Because Bill Nye, he plays Nahi. I mean, Bill, not the science guy.
Yeah, the actual science guy is like, no.
Who they should have cast as a scientist instead of this chick. But then you would have had that scene. Oh, man, let me bring up something you said in the movie before I go to Bill Nighy.
Okay.
Because when we had that shirtless scene, because here's the funny thing. By the way, we don't get a love scene in this. The closest we get to it is Frankenstein is taking his shirt off in front of this chick, the scientist chick, and she's looking at him like, damn, I ain't had no dick in so long.
Right.
And she really wants to, she don't care how many scars and shit he got on. She's like, I need to fuck something now. He looking good. But you turn around to me in the theater, you said, she's wondering if they sold a black dick on him. I laughed out loud. I said, I don't care who I'm disturbing right now. It's just funny. I put some Frankenstein shit on that. But Bill Nighy, man, he's doing this. He is collecting a paycheck and laughing. He's like, all I got to do is the same shit you had me doing the last Underwear movies. Right down to some of the same makeup.
Yeah. He looks like, I was surprised he wasn't playing the same character because he could just as well have. Matter of fact, they blew a big opportunity by having him play the same character.
Yes, they did.
Just have like the head of the vampires be the head of the demons. You know, he's working that angle too.
Yeah, why not bring it into the Underworld movies, man? The thing is, you know what they could have done? He didn't even need to be there. He lucked out so bad because they could have gone and cut scenes from the Underworld movie and put it in here. It would have been the same fucking thing.
If Frankenstein was real, if he really did animate a human, would it help you to study it?
Well, yes, absolutely. But, Mr. Wessex, it would have to be over 200 years old by now. There would be nothing left but a few brittle bones.
It's the first and only one of its kind, Dr. Wade. Who's to say how long such a subject might live?
He's phoning it in. He almost could have been on an iPhone doing everything he does, and yet he's still the best one in this movie.
He's still the best one in this movie because the reason why, because there's a part, you can see some parts where he's about to bust out laughing. He's just like, man, I don't, you know.
Are you sure you want me to say this?
Yeah.
Okay, name.
He's just walking through. He looking like, yeah, man, you know what? I'm getting paid for this shit, really.
Yeah.
You sure he probably even told you sure you want to cut that check? Because I ain't really doing nothing, man.
Like he probably showed up. He's like, I'm going to teach the rest of them how to do this. And he's like, what am I doing? Why do I care?
Yeah.
If they took longer than a day to shoot all of his scenes, they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. And when they actually get to the scenes where he's in prosthetic makeup, I guarantee you that's not him.
Oh, yeah.
That's somebody else. Because it doesn't even have to be his voice. It's somebody growling, I'm a demon now. You know, he ain't going to belittle himself like that. He still has a little pride.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even know his man in this makeup. You better get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Get him.
Put that on my stunt double, and I'm going to go hop in my roadster.
Now they got a demon that was run to the movie. This is the part we laughed at. They got one demon, like the head bad demon.
Yeah, like the main henchman, the leader of the henchmen wearing a black leather coat. Yeah. He's like some kind of demon hipster.
Terrible at his job.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be stealthily following the scientist in this movie. Now, the girl might not be no scientist, but she ain't that dumb. She gets off the train. First of all, he's supposed to be kind of creeping up on her, but she gets off the train and she's like, I see you behind me.
Yeah,
and he don't even move.
He's supposed to tail her without her knowing.
He just stands still like,
but they're the only two people to get off the train.
Those two.
Yeah, she looks right behind.
And when she calls his ass on there, she looks at her like, I see you. And he stands there like, if I don't move, she ain't gonna see me. My demonic powers of invisibility. Like, no, you dumb motherfucker, we see you. She gets barely around the corner.
She gets around the corner. He's like, where did she go?
Yeah, somehow he's lost. Like, huh? Where is she? He's like, you just saw her. How'd you even get this far? No wonder y'all fucking up. No wonder Demon's gonna lose this shit. Because y'all just dumb. But I think one of my biggest problems with this is that this could have worked if you had two things.
A script?
A script. I know that this means a lot to this brother that wrote this script. I know that, and that's why he's taking it seriously.
So is he the guy, the other Michael Clark Duncan who's in the movie?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about him in a minute because the thing is that he wrote this script. I know he's taking it seriously. I know that this is his Shakespeare probably.
Yeah.
But this is a joke, and it needs to be treated as such.
True.
Somebody needs to have I don't care how A-budget your effects are, there needs to be sort of a B-movie grade sensibility to it, which can be fun. That's not an insult.
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. With the dialogue change and one or two characters at least acknowledging how crazy it all is, or especially if you had one who was funny, this could have worked.
Yeah, it needed to be lighthearted, just
did.
a little bit. It's. I mean, seriously, you put, and I wasn't joking. You put Frankenstein in something, it just gets dumb. Shit, if Frankenbear didn't taste so good, that'd be the dumbest shit we ever saw.
And you know what? I kind of get that. Like we're moving in this. Like Twilight is taking things in this way where it's like we're taking the monsters, but we're making them sexy.
Yeah.
And hey, we got warm bodies with a love story with a zombie.
Yeah.
What's next? Somebody say like, well, what about Frankenstein?
Let's make him do it.
No. Actually, I wrote the script already. He's a sexy Frankenstein. We're gonna do it.
See, that's my biggest problem. Sexy Frankenstein.
Yeah.
You hear those things?
Oh, I know. It sounds like an indie rock band.
I look like I should be introducing this shit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sexy Frankenstein. Yay! But and give them to how hipsters are today, they'd actually come out and do some shit like that. Yeah. But in the book, now like I said, I know nothing about this book. I do remember seeing it in comic book stores and thinking, oh, this is cool because Frankenstein looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think in the movie, one of the things that's wrong with it is that, okay, you got Frankenstein's monster, who does not look like a monster. I think in the book, he's kind of blue, gray.
Yeah.
But
to look like rotting flesh or something.
And I think the movie would have worked better had they actually discolored him. Cause see, I want original Frankenstein. I want
Boris Karloff.
I want that flat top. Like I said, I want that suit where he's flooding at the ankles and the sleeves come up to his elbows. I want that, but I can leave it. I can get with a new Frankenstein. But this one, Aaron Eckhart does not. We said this before when I first found out about the movie. Aaron Eckhart looked like. He looks sexier because he got scars. He looked like a guy. He looks nothing like Frankenstein. He looks like a guy that got into a fight the night before or got into a car wreck and got up and walked off and said, I'm still sexy.
He looks like some guy who's a professional badass, like a Navy SEAL or a skydiver.
There you go.
Or Evel Knievel. It's like, man, how'd you get that? Oh, well, this one I was jumping Snake River Canyon. Or this one I had to rescue some people in a building as it was being demolished, and it just barely got out of there in time.
And that's a compliment to Aaron Eckhart. He's such a good-looking guy that
everybody knows that. Yeah, he's a matinee idol.
He actually makes those scars look good, man.
I mean, he's so good-looking that in The Dark Knight, it's hard to the biggest part that's hard to believe is that him and Christian Bale were fighting over Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I still think about that old freaky ass Maggie Gyllenhaal from Secretary, so I'm still down with it, man.
But she wasn't that Maggie Gyllenhaal in that movie.
No, Batman didn't have her bent over at the desk with her ass showing and everything. So you got it on that one. And even then, he made a half a burnt face still look good.
I know, right?
You need Michael Shannon for this shit.
Yes,
not Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah, Michael Shannon. That's the guy who should be Frankenstein.
Exactly. Y'all missed an opportunity here. So. Yeah,
plus just with his eyes, he would have injected humor throughout that thing. We'd have been loving it the whole time.
When he freaking out on people,
yeah,
you wouldn't even need no makeup on that, no scars or nothing. Just have his ass walk around and go crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you something about this movie, y'all. As far as my recommendation goes, if you got Underworld at home, just watch that. This is Underworld except dumber, and I think a lot more boring. I mean, I wasn't really.
You and I disagree then.
I know. I know. I'm gonna let you give your opinion.
Okay.
I don't think the movie is completely horrible, but it is just so mediocre that it is a pale imitation of what this guy has written better. And if you got Underworld at home, and I'm talking about all three of them out there, because I actually think Underworld 2 is a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
I like it. If you got those movies at home, you're really not missing anything. Unless you just gotta leave the house and you love looking at movies. That's all. Not any plot. That's it. And go see it in IMAX. I don't even think IMAX really did it justice because we saw it in IMAX.
We did.
But that's my recommendation. That you don't need to see this, especially if you've seen the other movies.
Well, I guess I agree with you on every point except when you say it's more boring than the Underworld movies. Now, 2 notwithstanding, because 2 was a step up. Mm-hmm. But for the first Underworld and the last one, like the last Underworld that we saw it in IMAX. I just felt like, wow, this was actually like the more it dealt with story, the more I was just not with it. I was bored. I was like, man, y'all have like, there's not even like a real script here. There's like some notes you run on a cocktail napkin, and you're stretching it out to finally get to the action scenes at the very end. And by the time you got there, I didn't care. And with this, I was like, yeah, it's really dumb. The whole take on it, the acting, it's baffling how serious everybody takes it. But it kept throwing in action constantly. I thought it was, they didn't spend a lot of time with downtime, with not stuff happening. And for it to be a midnight movie, it's giving me something to look at. And overall, I felt like this movie was not as horrible as I thought it was going to be. But I will say this. When I first came out of it, I was like, well, I guess there's people who like these kind of things, and it's fine for them. Having a half day to think about it, I'm like, it's still a pretty bad movie, though. There's no getting around that. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess I feel like, man, if Underworld is your thing, sure, why not? Go for it.
You know why?
It's not really my thing, so for me, I would just stay away from all of it.
I tell you why it's even hard for me to recommend for Underworld fans.
Yeah.
Because I give it to you. I was kind of bored by the first Underworld.
Yeah.
And I saw the third one on the plane. I wasn't even crazy about that one. But I just think at this point, it's monotonous. Like I said, you've seen this. Even the action within the movie, it's just going through cycles. I tell you what, though. I knew you were going to kind of enjoy it when you saw it.
What's that?
This movie.
Why is that?
I don't know. I was looking at this and said, this is some stupid shit that Martin would like. And look.
Whoa. Like is a strong word.
No, I should have prefaced this with something else because I know I'm going to get this reaction out of you without me being able to explain.
Okay.
See, I look at certain movies, and this is a compliment to you too. Like I gave a compliment, kind of a backhanded compliment to Andy Eckhart. Same way for you.
Let me get ready to duck.
Yeah, it's backhanded, but once you feel it, you were like, oh, it was actually that felt pretty good.
Okay.
I see movies sometimes that are just dumb shit, and I'm like, you know what, Martin's gonna like this. See, the thing is, you are so intelligent that sometimes your brain just needs to take a break. I know this. And I look at movies sometimes, I say, this is a Martin movie, some dumb shit that his brain just needs to check out on because he's been thinking about cool shit all day. You don't get it, but
I know I don't get it. I don't even see. I can't even see where the insult or the compliment is in that. Like I don't even understand what it means.
Think about it. It's gonna kick in later on.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah, but come back over here and go. Come outside.
Like you got gasoline sticking right set my house on fire. Shit. You dumb motherfucker talking about me like that. Well, you know what, man?
Oh, you got some trivia?
Let's test your knowledge right here. I got some trivia for you.
All right.
I have some trivia in the form of I'm going to give you some things that are interesting about the film. I'm going to ask you some things.
All right.
Some of these things you should know being the smart man that you are. We talked about Kevin Grievous or whatever.
General Grievous.
General Grievous, yeah. That brother's big.
He is.
He's been in the Underworld movies. He was a werewolf, or a lycan, if you want to call it. But the dude is big. Now
he's like Michael Clark Duncan. It talks just like him.
If they ever make the Michael Clark Duncan story,
if they make Daredevil 2,
he's employed. If they bring the Green Mile to Broadway, he's employed. This brother needs to do something with that. He's a big ass dude. But here's the thing about him. Now we're talking about how big he is. Okay, he writes comics. He writes goofy vampire and werewolf stories. He graduated from Howard University in Washington. And he graduated with a degree in microbiology with minors in both chemistry and psychology.
Wow.
So he could probably beat your ass and turn around and tell you the psychology that went into the ass beating and probably the physics that were incorporated too.
I wouldn't be near as impressed with that as I would be him explaining this movie.
Ain't that
the psychology of what he was doing in every scene.
All the
matter of fact, now that we said it, got to get that Blu-ray. You got to get the director's commentary on it.
Yeah, see how he explains this. Well, you see what I was doing right here. You weren't doing a goddamn thing, but wait.
What'd you say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So exactly. No, that was great.
No, man, I see exactly what you're doing, Kev. That's brilliant. I see a lot of these people out here. They don't get it.
Yeah,
man.
they don't understand.
But you and me,
it's some intelligent shit, man. It's some deep shit. If that wasn't enough, though, the brother also got a master's in genetic engineering.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I'm thinking all these degrees and all this.
How he have time to get all these degrees?
All this learning and shit.
He bullied those professors and giving him grades.
If I was his dad, I'd be like, boy, we sent you to college to learn all this stuff, and you got your degree and doing this dumb shit right here.
Maybe he studied everything and learned. He's like, I got it all figured out. The way to make money is to make a dumbass movie.
That's true. Well, Daddy, not only do I have more money than you do, but I will whoop your motherfucking ass right now. Yes, son, I understand. Call me daddy. Yes, daddy. Got some trivia about Frankenstein here,
All right.
since it's a Frankenstein movie.
Sure.
So the novel was released in 1818. Do you know what the original title was?
Ooh, I used to know. I forgot.
The Modern Prometheus.
Right.
Both those titles insinuating to the fact that pride leads to your downfall. All right. Victor Frankenstein is based on a real person. You know who this person is?
No.
Michael Shannon. No. Johann Conrad de Pell, who was a physician and a mad scientist, a real mad scientist. And he was obsessed with creating life through scientific means. Actually lived in Castle Frankenstein. Let's see here. Eddie Van Halen's guitar, that patchwork guitar.
Yeah. It's called Frankenstein.
Called Frankenstein. But you knew that, right?
Well, I mean, he probably named it after that Edgar Winter song.
Yes. Now, let's get into testing your knowledge here. I already did a little bit before.
All right, okay.
This is official right here.
Okay.
The first Frankenstein movie, the first time that the Frankenstein creature appeared on film, when was that?
Ooh, it was a silent film, and he looked
close.
crazy.
Yes. I'll tell you what. You're close enough to where I'll let you slide on the date, but do you know who made the movie?
It wasn't. Damn it. Oh, dude, I just read
Charlie Chaplin.
No. I just read this the other day, too. Damn it. All I could, you know what, when I saw a picture of what he looked like, that's what, it knocked all the facts out of my head, because he looked so different from the Frankenstein we know.
You tell me when you're ready.
I don't know. 1915?
You're close. It was 1910, and it was Thomas Edison.
I was going to say, God damn it, I was going to say Thomas Edison. But I read something else about Edison that knocked it out of my head.
You should go with your gut, man.
Damn it.
Trust your instinct.
Damn it. I was going to say Edison. The thing is, Edison's name is on it, but Edison had a history of not making shit and just like slapping his name on other people's stuff or just directly stealing.
Well, all I have is Edison right here.
Okay.
I don't have the story behind who he stole this from. Maybe that'll be a trivia for next time. Here's another one. This is our last one right here.
Okay.
And this is a very easy one. And I'm going to give you this one. This is truly a gimme.
All right.
At what age was Mary Shelley when she wrote Frankenstein?
17.
So close.
18?
It's too late. 19.
19. Oh, okay.
You were very close, though. You do know a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go, Pete.
No, a little bit. A little bit.
You know your Frankenstein a little bit. All right, everybody. There we go. That is our review and our conversation about our Frankenstein. Have fun with you talking about this, Brother Martin.
I know. It made it almost worth dying for.
It did. I said, please don't let me die until I do this review. Afterwards, you can do whatever. But if you want to get in contact with those people, now keep in mind that where these reviews are going right now are temporary. They're on SoundCloud, but we're moving, and we are definitely moving to a new location. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I got my land staked out and everything.
All
We're
right.
getting a house built and all that kind of stuff. Studio.
Nice.
And those are going to be somewhere permanent down the line. But right now, you can listen to these on SoundCloud. And just in case you want to get in touch with us, maybe you want to subscribe to the SoundCloud account or give us your email address so that we can get a hold of you and let you know when we do go to that new place. But also, you can reach me at kcoolman at, no, that's kcoolmans. I have too many addresses.
I know,
Martin.
you do.
kcoolmans with a Z at gmail.com. Martin, how can they reach you?
Well, they can look for me on Twitter under Martin_Nofro, or just check out, just do a search for my name on Facebook. I ain't hiding from nobody.
You ain't hiding from nobody. Look for Martin Stein.
There you go.
.com. All right. We'll see you later, everybody. Bye-bye.
I'm a monster. You're only a monster if you behave like one.